You might need that a little bit later. If you do have some weights that you want to throw in today, you can grab those as well. But of course, you're going to do this with your body weight, no extra weight needed. Um, don't you worry about that. All right. So I believe we are all set to go. So we're going to get things started. Coach Matt here, ready for some Monday full body blasts. We're going to get your body going. It's going to be a good week. Hopefully you had a great weekend and lots of rest. So you're nice and unraveled and ready to move, right? So we're going to do a lot of movement today, a lot of heart rate going up, a lot of muscles being used. So let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to start off with just a nice gentle march. Just bring those knees up, bringing some blood flow to those legs, and then we'll get those arms in there as well to get some blood flow in there. And we'll take it out nice and easy to start with. Just working to get that body warm. A little rainy over here, so cause you to sit down a little bit, maybe focus on that computer a bit more. So we'll go ahead and get those knees marching a little bit faster. Again, just working to get some blood flowing to those toes, to those fingertips. We'll certainly try to get you nice and warm today. Good strong workout. All right, we're going to go about 10 more seconds here. We're going to take one more notch of speed, bringing those knees up, just punching the ground. And relax. All right, we're going to go right into some jumping jacks, a little bit more of some cardiorespiratory work. Nothing like the classics. Just get us up and moving. Just go about 30 seconds here on these. So like I said, we've got quite a selection of movements for you today. So you get to experience lots of things. Let's go the last couple here. And relax on those. All right, feel warm. Heart rate's responding a little bit. We're going to get those hips and legs a bit active. We're going to take those hands, bring them behind our head. Elbows nice and flared out. We're going to do some good mornings. So feet are about hip width apart. We're hinging those hips backwards, pushing those hips to that back wall, hinging down. Should feel those hamstrings nice and stretched out. We're going to squeeze those glutes, push those hips forward. Okay? Hips go backwards. Notice my back is nice and flat. Stretch those hamstrings, hold for a second. Squeeze those glutes, push those hips forward. Let's go 2 more. Notice that upper back is nice and strong. Elbows stay nice and flared out. Push forward. And the last one. Really reach back. Hold that bottom position for a second or two. And squeeze those hips to go forward. Alright, we're going to move to the back of your mat if you have one. You're going to push those hips backwards, kind of like we just did, but we're going to bring those hands down to the ground. Walk it out into our inchworm position. We're bringing that left foot up by those hands. We're going to drop that back knee down. And we're going to work to open up that hip. And if you want to, your left leg is up, your left hand, we can thread that underneath, provide some rotation. We're just going to hold that for a second, come back out, let that back knee, and reverse all that back up. Just get a little movement if you're just hopping in. If you miss some unravel, don't worry, we've got you. Walking those hands back out. Do the same on the other side. Right foot comes in, we'll drop that knee. We'll push that right knee out to the side. And that right hand is going to reach up and under. We'll hold there for a second. And we'll bring that back, reverse all those positions, and walk those hands back in. All right, we're going to get that body a little activated, get that nervous system ready to go. So we're going to start again on the back of your mat. We're going to take a nice long lateral lunge out. We're going to push through that foot into a stand. We're going to bring that foot up into a balance position. You know, I love my balance. and then we're going to bound this leg back to the start. Again, find that balance. All right, so it's going to be kind of a little bit of a flow like a river. All right, lateral lunge over, into that balance, back to that bound. All right, it doesn't have to be a big bound, but we're just trying to get that dynamic stability at the end of it. All right, boom. Let's go 2 more on this side. Find that balance each and every time. Oh yeah, starting to get a little bit easier there. All right, then we'll go to the other side. We'll do the same. Good long lateral lunge into that balance. And then bounding over here. So we're going to go about 4 times on this side. Just again, make sure everything is working in unison and ready for all the action we have today. All right. Once you finish those 2, we're going to go ahead and just hop into it. I'll kind of explain the movements as we go. So it is a longer workout, so we're going to have, I don't know, about 10 different movements to go through. So we'll just feed into you one at a time, and we're just focused on the how each movement looks. All right, don't focus too much on how much you're doing, how many reps, anything like that. We're just going to focus on what the movement is doing for us and try to get the most out of it. All right, so that way we're all moving together. So the very first one is going to be a hip hinge. So it's going to look a lot like that good morning that we did. We're going to start, if you do have a weight, then you can take that right to your chest. If you do not have a weight, just pretend you do. I want you to think about kind of pulling those shoulder blades back together, and we're going to push those hips back. Notice I'm keeping that chest up nice and proud, and we're going to push those hips forward. All right, we're going to hinge those hips back and push those hips forward. All right, so it's going to be kind of a little bit more rhythmic than we did on the good mornings. I want you to really focus on getting those hips back. A couple key differences from this movement to the good mornings that we did in our warm-up. Notice I do have a little bit more bend in the knee here. And we are focused on keeping that chest a little bit more upright. And it's less of a slow load. We're still relatively slow in that load, but it's going to be a little bit quicker than that good morning. So just focus on push those hips back, throw those hips forward, and squeeze those glutes. All right, again, if you have that weight, we're looking to pull that part right at that chest, nice and proud. We're going to go 2 more here. Hips go back, drive forward, and last one. Boom. All right, 1 down. Let's move to the next one. We're going to do some good old-fashioned squat jumps, so we prime those hamstrings and glutes. So we're working to squat down and power up. All right, you can either do these continuously, which means dropping right down into that next rep, or come to a set, down and up, set, down and up. Whichever way you are more comfortable doing, it is up to you. I know we're still kind of getting that body nice and warm, so don't feel like you need to demand more of your body than you have to give right now. No harm in taking it a little bit slower. Notice those hips are still going back. Pretend we're sitting back into a chair. We'll use that later. We can use it as a reference if you'd like to. We're going to sit back to that chair and powering up. All right? Same deal. We're going to go 2 more. And relax. All right, 2 movements down. We're throwing out a little bit of cardio. We're going to go back to those jumping jacks, 30 seconds worth. Let's get it. So we're going to be mixing everything in today. A bit of that strength, a little bit of mobility, of course that cardio, some power with those jumps. All kinds of great stuff. Might even see a little bit of balance here. Later, we don't know. Last 2, 1, and relax. All right. So, talk about that mobility a little bit, just like that lizard stretch that we started with. We're going to go into some alternating front steps. So we're going to drop down to all fours, hands and knees. We're going to tuck those toes under, bring those knees up into our primal or our beast position. We're going to sit back. As we pull forward, we're going to bring one foot up into that runner's lunge. All right? Bring that back, step back, other foot comes forward. Your choice if you want to leave that hand down or if you need to bring that up depending on where your mobility is. That is an option for you. So we're just going to alternate back and forth here. Just working to really mobilize those hips. Certainly, I'm going to start feeling it in those quads a little bit. We get all the good fun stuff here today. Again, if you need to slow this down a little bit, you can hold this position for a second. You can. You look forward. Nice proud chest on that. One more each time. And coming back and relax. Feel some burn in those quads? I sure do. We're just going to prolong that a little bit more. Our next movement is going to be a Cossack squat with a hop. So we're going to take those feet out nice and wide. All right? So we're going to sit into one hip. As our weight shifts over that foot, I want you to try to lift this foot up as high as you can. It's going to come right back down. That's how gravity works. But we're going to try to stay loaded on that side. Switch over. Keep that loaded over that foot. Up and back down. All right? What I do not want to see is this. All right? This is my body shifting towards the other leg. Keep that weight over. Pick that knee up. It's going to come back down. All right? Back and forth here. Trying to get that knee as high as you can without moving that upper body. All right? If that foot starts to get a little bit wide, you can pull those feet in a little bit. That's fine. All right? Did all that mobility in those hips. Should start to feel pretty good. And if you can, if you have the ability to focus on a nice soft landing. So if you're on that second floor, your neighbors downstairs, don't think about any elephants up there. We're gonna go one more time each side. So trying to bring those knees up and relax. All right, got some juice in those legs. We're gonna go back some jacks. We're gonna change it up. We're gonna do some seal jacks this time. So hands out front, feet together, and let's do it. Some seal jacks, just a little different. Get our cardio in. Expand that chest. Get some mobility through those shoulders. All right. About 10 more seconds. Up to you on the pace. You can go fast, you can go slow, whatever you like. And relax. All right. Last pair of movements here before our last cardio break. We're going to go into some pike knee taps. So we're going to get back down to the ground. Get a little shoulder action going on here. Once you get into a good strong plank position. We're going to drive those hips up as high as you can, like a down dog. All right, that left hand is going to go to that right knee. We're going to come back to that plank all the way down, or all the way to plank. All right, pushing back up. Right hand to left knee, back to plank. All right, so we're going to go back and forth here. Notice I am going to come back to the back plank, reestablish that position before I go to the other side. All right, what I don't want to see is this. All right, once you reestablish that position, push back, touch, establish that position. All right, we're re-engaging those abs, dropping those hips low. Should be squeezing those glutes once we get back into that plank position. All right, some great shoulder stability movement here. Working strong through those shoulders, those wrists and those elbows. All of that in support. Stay strong with me. We got one more each way. And relax. All right, if you got that chair, go ahead and pull it in. Our last movement here is going to be some alternating pistols to a chair. So if you've done any kind of single leg work, this is going to be right up your alley. If not, I'll show you some modifications, don't you worry. So we're going to start with our right foot on the ground, left foot in the air. All we're going to do is stand up without touching our leg. All right, left foot is still in the air. We're going to sit back down. We're going to switch feet. Same deal, stand up, sit down on that single leg, okay? If you can't quite get there, if the single leg is just not there, you can take that other foot and just touch that toe down and push up, okay? So the more weight you put in that other foot, the easier it's going to be to stand up. And hey, if you're not quite there and if you need both feet to stand up, use both feet to stand up. That's totally fine as well. Always ways to modify down. And just going to be alternating those feet into that fully standing position and then back into that seated position. All right, alternating those feet each and every time. What I want you to be very careful about is lowering yourself into that chair, okay? Try not to just fall into that chair. I want you to put that foot firmly down and lower yourself in control to that chair. Nice and soft. All right, find that balance at the top. We're gonna go a couple more here. 2 more each leg. Really focus on driving that foot into the ground, squeezing that quad at that top. Last one, and relax. All right, last little bit of cardio here. We're gonna do some side-to-side hops. So feet go together. Imagine there's a line right next to your foot. Just hop up that line. Back and forth. 30 seconds. Good. Try to keep those knees together, those toes together. It's a little bit too much ankle for you. We can certainly do some quick little steps back and forth. All right. Stay with me here, last 10 seconds. Up and back and forth. Again, you can take that up if you want that extra bit. That's 2, 1, and relax. All right, we made it through one round. We're gonna go back to the top. We're gonna come down again, okay? So if you have that weight, if you wanna use that for those hip hinges, you can. If you wanna modify it up, you can take this to kettlebell swings, all right? So it's gonna be pretty much the same movement. Nice and tall here, hinge back, those hips forward. All right, same as like you would a kettlebell swing, okay? If we do not have a weight, no worries. That means you could put extra mental focus in squeezing those glutes together. All right, a lot of times when we have that external weight, we are following that weight, doing what it wants us to do, but instead we are in control, right? We tell that weight what we want it to do. So let's go ahead and take that weight away if you need to, or if you don't have one, and we'll focus on telling our body what we want it to do, right? We're gonna go 3 more here. Hips go back, squeeze those glutes. Last one. All right, good deal. Right into those squat jumps. Second time, if you want to take the intensity up, like I said, go for those continuous, right into that next rep. Or if you want to focus on those individual reps, just focus at 1 at a time, okay? If you can, try to focus this time, putting a little bit more effort into that jump. All right, can you touch the ceiling? Those of you with 12-foot ceilings, go for it. Set your goals high, and your dreams even higher. Let's go for it, folks. Got a handful of these left. Big push up off the ground. Nice soft landing. Absorbing through those hamstrings. Bending those knees. Bend those ankles. Last one. And relax. Awesome job. We're going to go for those jumping jacks 30 seconds, and go. Nice and quick. So this is our second round through. Starting to pick that tempo up. Putting a little bit more effort into the second round. Let's go for it. Last 10 seconds. Big push, big push. Here we go, here we go. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, we're gonna make our way down to the ground, going into those front steps, kind of like that lizard position. All fours. We're gonna load that back, stepping through. All right, load it back, stepping through. At your own pace, through these. This might be a new movement to you, so you can just focus on getting comfortable, hitting those positions. We're not going to push that tempo until we have a really solid foundation of what the positions are and how to get from one position to the next. Look good, folks. Stay strong, stay low. Those hips are going to stay about shoulder height. All right, so making sure we're not piking up at any time. Got one more each way. And bring it back and relax. All right, we're back to standing. We have those Cossack squats with the hop. Remember, keep your weight over that foot. Let's get down, shift it, push up. All right, like I said, this second round, we're gonna put these a little bit more all back to back. Make it a little bit harder, less rest time between each. All right, and up to you if you want to come put a little bit more speed into this. You certainly can. Focus on explosiveness through that foot. Have that balance. Come on. 2 more each way. Come on, come on. And relax. All right, back to those seal jacks. Hands together, feet together, 30 seconds. Let's go. Breathe it out. We are almost there, folks. Got about 2 more minutes of work. We're gonna finish things strong. 10 more seconds with jacks. Let's pick up that pace. Turn up to that next level. Last 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, we're gonna go back down to the ground. We have those plank knee taps. Remember to reestablish that position in that plank each time. Plank to knee tap. Plank to knee tap. Good. Back and forth. I want you to really focus on getting extension through that shoulder when we go to that knee tap. Don't just go here. All right? Push back into that plank. Really get as extended as we can. This is a great dynamic stretch for your hamstrings as well. Think about it just like going into that down dog. Really push those heels into the ground. Each rep. We're going to go 2 more each way. Last one each way. And relax. Let's bring us to that chair. Last little bit here. Sitting down on one leg. Standing up on that same. Switch. Good. Find that balance at the top of each one. Try not to sit down until you have that balance. Good work, folks. And notice that knee position as well. Is one knee caving in more than the other? Are you focused on driving that knee apart from that midline? That is a good sign. And that other foot, try not to get too far away. Why don't you keep that relatively neutral? Help keep those hips neutral. All right, if we start getting really extended, it's going to throw the balance of things off. 1 more each side. And then we're going to finish up with those side-to-side hops. 30 seconds. Find that space. Ready, and go. This is our last 30 seconds of the day. So we're going to work to really push this one, right? Back and forth across that line. Keeping that lateral direction. Left to right, left to right. Final 10 seconds. Good push, good push. Come on. A little bit more, a little bit more. Last 3, last 2, last 1. And time. All right, folks. Awesome job today. Appreciate you coming. Getting that whole body blasted. Mondays are always fun to get that week started strong. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for some abs class. Stay tuned. Grab some water. We'll see you back in a minute.